Okay, yesterday we faced the issue with the connecting or creating the workspace or Databricks. It didn't work, but yesterday I tried again and I figured out the problem. Anyway, we knew the problem was related to quota or processing quota with the Azure. So I'll show you that what was exact the issue. You may also face this issue in future. So depending on the subscription you have, you may have this issue. So for that, you will have to go to the subscription in Azure, and you will have to select your subscription. Under subscription, you will go to settings, and under settings, you will find this location, which is uses plus quotas. Okay, and where you are planning to take your workspace, or you want to create your resource in that region, you will have to go and check for the quota. So here it shows Australia Central right now, but we are looking for some location in India. So I'll uncheck this. I'll type South India and I'll tick for this. I'll search for this location. And now my region is here, so I can see the total regional virtual CPUs my account supposed to create is up to 10 core only. So above 10 core, if I go, it will not allow me to create the resource. So this is like my maximum limitation for this region. In this region, I am supposed to create this much only. Some region I have exhausted my quota, so maybe I can, ask them to adjust it or change it for us, and we can request new quota. Okay. So this is like limitation or a feature in Azure which may hold you to or throw a error always when you create your resource or Databricks account. Okay, so you may also encounter this issue, so you have to be careful. All right, so this once you increase the quota or you request the quota, maybe they will take 24 hours to increase your limit, and then you can create your virtual CPUs, because in compute power, the CPUs will be or the processing will be handled by Azure. Okay, so this is what it was causing the issue yesterday, and after having a look into it, I was able to create this account. So I created a resource group. I'll go to resource group in Azure, and I created a resource group named Databricks. And in that resource, I created a Databricks workspace. So it's a same like service we have. Once we click on this, we can launch it. From here, we can launch the Databricks. I have already launched this one here. So it is open in the next tab. Okay, so it will open in a new tab only. So this is how we can reach it up to here. Okay, so now we are on this workspace. This is a premium account, means having full feature. Definitely, it will be costing, but yeah, it's a premium account because I already exhausted my free tier here. So I don't have any free one. But if you are, subscribing to this, you will get 14 days free tier where you will be able to use all the features. Okay, so once we are in Databricks or Azure Databricks, we can say. So in this, we have the workspace. So I'll just show here, maybe. Let me just go. Okay, so in workspace, you will be able to just hold on. I cannot see so. Okay, little bit screen issue, no problem. So yeah, so we'll understand about the interface here. So when we create the workspace or Databricks account, here we will see the home page, or this is our workspace like. So it is like each user who logs in will get this workspace. So with your email account, you will get your workspace. Okay, because I used with my subscription email and Microsoft email, which is provided when I created the Azure account. That's why it's long email. So it's like default one. So here, when you join any organization, you will get your workspace with your email account. Okay. And once we have this, we click on this. So this is our home page. And in workspace, you will find that you have your common workspace, or the workspace which is shared with everyone. So your organization may have shared workspace, and you will see all the shared resources here. So let's say you have common notebooks or any document or anything which will be displayed here. Okay. Also, if you have GitHub repos, you can see the repos from here. So your GitHub repos, you can view it from here. Then this is the users, means this is your personal workspace. Here you can view your own workspace from here. So this is the your personal workspace. Basically, this is the same thing. If you click on this, it will take you to this one only. So this is the same thing. And this is a repo, legacy one, and the trash and favorite. So this is like orientation of your workspace. In the workspace, you would be able to create, a new notebook. So we'll understand about the notebook in detail. Let's see, for example, if I want to create a notebook here, I can go to my workspace, and I can create, or click on this create one. And by create, I can maybe organize my resources or objects in folder, Git folder, query, alert, dashboard, notebook, ML flow, experiment, files. I can manage all those things. So let's say if I am creating a notebook, I can simply click on the notebook and it will create a notebook. So we'll understand about the notebook first, and then we will talk about this. So let me see. So notebook is basically a document which is composed of cells and these things. So we'll simply create a notebook and see. Okay, so this is like your notebook. This is the title of your notebook, and this is the like default language of your notebook. So you can change your title as well. Let's say not book dash one. So like this, you can change the title of your notebook, and here it will give you the four options: Python, SQL, Scala, and R. So by default, whatever the default setting you have, it will accordingly it will pick the your language of your notebook, and you can simply switching in between, you can change your default language of the notebook. So that's also doable. Mm, Now about notebook cells. So notebook is constructed or made up of cells here. So this is called a cell basically. This is a cell. We can add more cells like this. So cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. You have multiple cells like this. Each if one notebook contain multiple cells. So when you go to, let's say, your workspace, and you will see on your home page your notebook which is you have created. So from here you may be able to clone it, rename it, move it, move to trash, all those things you can do with your notebook. Once you click on the notebook, it will open your notebook, and it will show you whatever the last modification you have done. So all the modification it will show. Let's say we created three cells, so three of three cells are displayed here. You don't have to manually save it. Each time you create something, it will automatically be saving it for you. Okay, and notebook contains a collection of two type of cells. So this is like code cell you can see, but we can have another type of cell as well, which is called markdown cell. So if I click on this text, so when I hover over, I can see on the top of the notebook, on top of the each cell, I can see a button which is like code and text. So everywhere I will see this choice. Okay, so let's say if I would like to have a text written here between these two cells. So for example, if I write on top, let's say I include markdown cell. So markdown code I can write, like say I can include image, header, bullet list. So this is the cell which is not writing the code basically. It's just text or sort of detail what is written below or something like this. So you can say, let's say I'm putting requirements here. So it is basically displaying it here on preview. I can hide this preview or show this preview here. So let's say if I am making it header one, okay, so it will change the preview style. It will show like this. When I, hide this, it will not show, but it will, when you change the cell, it will show like this. So this is like H1, that's why it is showing large. You can simply, change it. So requirements, okay. Let's say if H2 I want to make, I can make it to H2 and it will show something like this. Okay, I think it's additionally adding this one. So I can simply select this, let's say heading 3 or heading 2, something like this, and it will, show you like this. So this is the markdown one where you can have multiple markdown one. Let's say this cell we are going to write about requirements. This cell maybe we are going to let's say query it. Okay, so you can simply type this and mention it. So you can organize your code with this one, and this may be here you would like to fetch the result or something. Okay, so this is how you can organize your cells. Okay, so this is the two type of cells, and if we look into the top bar or icons here, we can it's like we can create new notebook, we can import a notebook, we can add a dashboard to notebook, and we can clone it, rename it, export it, move it. So all these common tasks related to file we can do. And here, like we have in a Word document, as we manage the same thing, almost identical thing. We can perform any activity like cut cells, copy cell, paste cell, delete cell. So shortcuts also, I think, same. We can use this, and we can insert the cell above, cell below where our cursor is. So basically, this cell is active. So whatever action we are taking here is going to be performed above this. We can move cell down, select all cell. We can format the cells and format notebook and all those things we can do. So these are some like common here. Then we can play around with the view menu here where we can change the layout. So right now this layout is centered one. I can make it full width as well. So like it's consuming all the space on the side as well. So let's say if I go to centered layout, it is little bit less, having little bit of a space here. So that is the center one. Then we have cell layout. So each cell we may have layout. So standard right now it is the standard layout. If we just want to see the result, we can make it to the result one. So you will see that cells are not having anything except whatever the results we are going to have, it will show the results only. And then we have side by side, means one side it will show the query. If we have written something, it will show one end, and another end it will show the result. So side by side view also, like this, we have like requirement written here and code written here, like markdown you can see. So side by side it will show the query and result. Okay, so this is the cell layout here. We'll keep it standard for time being. Next thing is, we can see here the workspace theme. We can change, because this is system default theme right now. We can change it to light one. So let's say light one will be like white, fully normal one. Second is like dark theme. We can intentionally make it dark. And whatever system preferred, we can simply change it to system preferred as well. So this is the like system one. So it is taking from system. Uh, so next is, okay. So this is what we have here. And here we see all the codes which we have written here. We can run everything together, or we have another choice where we can run it individually. So let's say if I just want to run one cell, so I can just click on this play button, and I can run one cell, and I can see the result for one cell. Even I can run it for the selected text, means wherever text is selected. Run all above means all the cells above this. So let's say if we are on the third or second cell here, and we click here, so we will be running the first cell and second cell. Okay, so like this, we can have multiple cells, we can run together, and run all below also option available. So we want to run, below cells, then also we can perform it. So these are some run related, options on the cell. Next here, it will show you all the edit history from here, and this is also run and debug, run all, select above, below, all these clear cell outputs. We can perform these run activities. And here, if we see, we can see that whatever edit we are going through, it is maintain the history. So we can see multiple version when we have done what. So it will like keep a record of this. And I think we can restore it as well, and we can save the latest version or previous version, we can restore to, etc. We can do all the changes, we can see and view it here. All right, so this is like version history here. Next is run all, we have covered, and next one is connect here. So basically, when we create a new account, we will we have the compute resource, which is like a resource available on Azure. We can run that resource. So I have created a cluster here. So if I go to, maybe I can go from here as well. So let's say if I click on this one, so it will start my cluster basically. So from here it will start costing me, right? So when I start my cluster, means it is going to start my virtual machine, which is going to run the code. Okay, so this may take time, but this resource I can find from here. So my notebook will be running on this resource. If I go to compute, in compute I can see that my resource is starting, and I created this personal compute. Okay, so when it is restart, or when it starts basically, my notebook will be able to run. Without compute resource, it will not be running. And if I go to my Azure, and if I go to my subscription here, and if I go to my uses quotas, Now you see, I have some resource in South India, which is having the green bar. Means I'm consuming some resource here, and my limit is, changing. So you see, 40% means 4 core of my this virtual CPU is used. So if I have multi-node environment, maybe I have, let's say, multiple resource if I want, then I will have to increase, definitely I will have to increase the quota. Let's say if I have four core of, maybe more than 10, if it is going, then I will have to request it more. Otherwise, it will not allow to create more. So when our compute resource was not working, then this was available to use. But when we started our computer resource, it started, consuming the, limit. So this is what it's showing, that your, limit is now 40% utilized. I hope, yeah, now still it is starting. So our computer resource is starting. Meanwhile, it is starting, we can go to our computer resource and see that what the consumption or what is the configuration of our compute resource. So in configuration, you can see we have one driver which will be acting as master and driver both. Okay, and here this will use 14 GB of memory, and 4 cores are being utilized. So out of these 10 cores, we are consuming here 4 cores. Okay, so 4 cores are being consumed. That's why 40% utilization. Okay. And this is the policies which we have used to create this resource. We have used personal compute. We have different choices here. So we may have, shared one and all those things. So also we can add from here. So let's say if I create another compute resource, I'll just open this one. So I can have like different policy I can use. I can use maybe unrestricted, means lot of workers. So this is going to be, let's say, 2 to 8 workers and the driver. So it's going to consume 32 to 128 GB memory, 8 to 32 cores, and one driver, it's going to consume 16 GB of memory and 4 cores. So this much resource I can allocate here, and it can be for a single user, or it can be for multiple, means shared user. So here a single user means it can be used by one user. Shared means everyone can, share it, and no isolation shared means all languages we can have. So I can, if in single user, I can choose my user who is going to use it. Share, definitely everyone is going to use it. Okay, so single, I'll just keep, I'm not going to create it. I'm just showing you the screen. So here it will show that which runtime you would like to use. So certainly we should not go for the beta version. We should go for LTS, long-term support only. So we can, whatever the latest LTS available, we should go for that. Use photon acceleration. So this is one of the feature available in this cluster, so which we can use. We'll discuss about this more. And here, like we can see, like I can have 2 worker node, and a number of maximum workers. I can, minimum and maximum workers I can add or make it, and accordingly it will change. So here you will see the dbu per hour, means the cost per hour is going to change depending on the resource requirement we are going to have. And the driver type which we are going to have, maybe we may have different configuration also for driver and worker, which we can, make it. Okay, we can enable it auto scaling. If we are disabling it, it is not going to auto scale. So if you see here in this area, when I disable this, I'm stick to one fixed number of worker node. Okay, but if I enable it, it will vary between 2 to 8. So whatever number, we can change it. Next here option is spot instances. Means if we would like, we are looking for a discounted instance of the resource or compute power from Azure. So Azure has some scheme called spot instance. Means you can claim for discounted one, or let's say if they have some free resource, they will allocate it for you with the less price basically. If you have reserved in instance or instance which is available, generally we can go for this for testing purpose. But if we have discounted, we go for, we may have some price concession. So this is what here. And yeah, driver we have, okay, and here terminate after. So in termination here, what we can do is basically, let's say we are running our instance of a cluster, and we would like to stop it after some time. So let's say if I'm running my notebook right now, and after I finish running my notebook, I want to terminate it because it will be costing me while it is running, right? So I should automatically be stopping it. So you can define this number could be between 10 to 43 200 minutes. So minimum is 10. So when you run this notebook, you require 10 minutes to stop it. Okay. So like I just ran the notebook, I just ran the cluster. So uh, automatically it will be stopping after 10 minutes if I'm not using it. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So let's go ahead, and next thing is, yeah, tags. We can provide some key value tags like in Azure we have. So tags are like same thing. And we may have some advanced options. We can look into logging, Spark, init script, and all those things. We don't have to generally touch this. Okay. So this is about, creating compute power. I will just cancel it and let's see what compute power we have. So our compute power is ready. Now you can see the green dot. My cluster is running. Okay. And this is like 14 GB active memory, 4 cores, and this is going to be the cost here. So we may have multiple clusters, maybe for same user or maybe shared, and we can use this cluster to run our notebook. Okay. So right now it is running. So if I go to my workspace, I go to my notebook. In my notebook, I will see the green dot here and which cluster is available to run. So I may have multiple choice here. I can change the cluster and, depending on my requirement, I can, run it for this. Next button is schedule. I think, yeah, schedule one. So we can schedule this notebook to run on a specific, time and this thing. So if I want this notebook to run every day, or every hour or every week, I can schedule it as a job, so it will become a job for me, or it will be automated for us that it will be running on a specific time. Okay, so every day, hour, week is available, we can, and automatically it will trigger the cluster, which it's supposed to use. So the cluster will invoke, cluster will start, notebook task, whatever task we have mentioned are going to run. And that after 10 minutes, if we put the logic here for 10 minutes, then automatically after 10 minutes, the cluster will stop. Okay, so this process we can automate here. And if we wish to have a notification on that, so let's say I would like to receive an email when if the cluster fails to start or maybe some error occurs, then I want to receive a notification, then I can mention the email here and check the failure. Let's say if I want to add another notification, maybe for a different reason, let's say for success or start, then also I can mention this like this. I can keep adding. Okay, so multiple notifications I can configure. So these are like notifications, and if I want to define any key value parameters, so I can mention it here, add the parameter as well. So same way like notification. So we are not creating it, we are just viewing it. So we'll cancel it. Okay. Let's click somewhere. Okay. So now you can share your notebook with someone you want to share. So all these users are available. Basically, the users with whom you want to share will be coming from the enter ID. So let's say if I want to, I think I have one user called database, or I think I have DB admin. Why data? Mm, Let me see what's the user I have. So I will go to Azure and I'll type here Entra ID. I'll open the Entra ID. This is the directory to manage our users. So I'll go here, go to users. And I have a user called database admin. We'll try to search it there, and we have some of other users. So I'll go to Databricks. Yeah, I go to database admin. It should have given me the option here, but for some reason it's not coming. Email, new user, copy link, and manage. Permissions are configured here, but I am not sure. Right now it is showing. So let me reopen it maybe. Share, and again we can type database admin. So I think we'll have to look into it because yesterday I tried and it was working, but today it's not working for some reason. So we'll have to check. But these users, these will be coming from the enter ID only, where we have seen from the enter ID we can create this, and we can have this in the organizations. So we can pick this user and we can add this user, share this notebook with this user. Okay, so this is about share, and here on this side we have like comments. We can write the comment about our code. Okay, so whatever the code we are writing, let's say if I am writing something here, I can write the comment on this code. So I think there is also this button. I can create comment from here as well, and I can write the comment, okay, related to this code. So for example, if I have another code here, I can simply select this, click on the create comment, and I can write. If it is shared, then multiple users will be able to write this comment, and they should be able to edit it, delete it, and make change. So you can see what is happening with the code. Maybe you are working with the shared environment, so you can deal with this information which is available, and the comment is this. Then next is let me just go open comments, ML flow. So here, I think this is the ML flow. You can run your experiment and these things. So on notebook, no runs yet. So ML flow, when we talk about an ML flow, we'll go through this. Then here it will show your version history. So as you are, progressing, you are making some changes, it will show you the changes here. Okay, in this version history. And this is about the variable in Python language. If you are having any variable associated with this, notebook, you will be able to view it here automatically. And then you will see the Python libraries which are associated with this notebook. Okay. And lastly, you have some environment related information, what environment we are running in, and little bit of serverless compute only. So this will apply to serverless compute only. Okay, so we understood about creating cells. Let me just go through what we have here. Mm. Okay, now next thing is let's close this. So in cell, we can have basically title written here, or basically if we start from here, these are the actions we can take with this cell. So let's say I want to copy this cell or cut this cell, add this cell above, or add a cell above or below, move it up, down, format Python, add a title. So basically, if I click on add a title, I can write a title with this cell. So this is, let's say I'm writing a cell, for example, cell 1 dash title. So I can add a title to each cell which I have created individually. So it will display it here. Further, yeah, here we have title. So on this menu, I can add or hide a title. So let's say if I hide a title, it will not display the title here. Title can be for internal reference as well. Okay, we can collapse cell. So if we collapse the cell, it should not show you the code. You can, hide the code as well, like this. Okay, and you can hide the title, you can expand the cell, and you can expand the code as well. So code. Okay. Next is you can clear the output. Once your cell is running, you will get the output below that cell. So you can, hide the result or clear the output as well. Copy link to the cell. Basically, it will provide you the cell link in the clipboard. And if I go to my notepad, it will be like this. So it is my ID here dot Databricks Azure Databricks dot net. So this is my link. In that hash and notebook, under notebook, this is the notebook which we are talking here, and this is the command, and this is particular cell. So this is like cell address you can see over the internet. Okay, so it's like entire URL of this cell. Okay, so you can share directly this URL, and that user is having permission on this notebook. They can directly jump to this cell and look into the code and all those things. Okay, I think we have covered everything. We can export the cell, we can delete the cell, and all those things we can also perform here. And yeah, this next button is like a focus mode. So if I want to work on this particular cell and it is having multiple lines, in that case, I can, make it big, and it's like full screen mode. So if I do have multiple lines, I can, have this cell in full view mode. And if I make it small again, it will show something like boxed ones. Okay, and that's why sometime I need to collapse the cell, so it will show like this. So now it is collapsed mode. If I go for expand cell, it will show consume the space here, and even I can hide the code. So only this will show the title of the cell and some buttons, but it will like hide this. Okay, so collapse cell, show code, and it will start showing the code. And also you would notice, I think where it was, I will also have to look into it. Let me see. Yeah, so this one is basically assistance, toggle assistance. So you can click on this and it will assist you for the code. So let's say you want to see command history or command or any object or any assistance you want, like say db utils, for example, generate, and it will say that, okay, remove this code and put this one. Okay, if I accept it, it will help me to write my code basically. Okay, I think there is FS function and these things we look into. So we can, this one is like handy assistance. It will provide if you forget the command or you want a help on the command, something like this. And this is like the, your language which is being used with the this cell. But you can simply change this language as well by using the percentage, let's say SQL, I think, and it will change the language. So if you see, if I write percentage SQL, it is changing the language to SQL. And maybe in the next cell, let's say if I delete this, for example, and next cell, for example, using the Python, first cell using SQL, another cell using some another thing. So all the languages we can use. So let's say if I just want to change it to Python. So the default is Python. So that's why it's jumping to Python. If it is not, then I can say Python, I think, and it will change to Python. Okay. So this is how we can change it. All right. So next is where so we have delete cell button also available. We can simply delete this cell and it will be removed from here. So if I click on delete, it will simply delete the title cell or whatever cell we have. Language selector we have seen already. So this is like language selector. Yeah, cell focus we have seen. Let me see what else we have related to cell. Delete cell we have seen. Moving cell is easy. So let's say if I put the title here, for example, this is like cell 1. I just put the title. And let's say if this is the cell 2, and this is, for example, cell 3. Okay, so we have 3 cells here, and we can simply drag and drop these cells like this and move. So sequence we can change anytime. Okay, we can simply, drag and drop wherever we want to keep whatever cell, we can do that. So it's on the notebook, it's easy to drag and drop and cut and paste cell. So you can easily cut and paste cell as well. I think this is little bit large, so yeah, let's say if I want to copy this cell, okay, and I think paste, I'm not sure how it's going to work in edit. I think it's going to paste the cell, something like this. So Control V, so it will paste the cell like this, or you can do this. So same like Word file, we can, easily, and Control X, Control V, and all those things will work. Okay, so yeah, code anywhere. If we are writing any code, for example, let me make it be a little bit big. So let's say if we have uh, code line 1, code line 2, code line 3, for example, then we will be, simply selecting it, any line of code, and we can, create a comment around it. So we can, simply select that line and, we can put the comment for that line of code and it will highlight. So when we click on this comment, it highlights that line. So it will, let's say, if I am here and if I click on this name, so I put this specific comment for this line of code. Or maybe I can put, let's say, select this one and put the comment. So this is like comment for line 3. I can add comments. So when someone goes there, it will highlight this line of code, So each comment I can, and I can delete these comments as well. Edit these comments, delete these comments. Oh, this is like comment 1, basically. Okay, add cell to a dashboard. We can also add a cell to, dashboard. That is also doable. So if I select my this cell, I should be able to add this to my dashboard where it
Uh,
is.
Kamal, I have a question. So
Yes.
what I just want to ask one
Mm-hmm.
question. So
Yes.
what exactly you are going to do here in notebook? So
See, notebook is like, work area where you are going to write the line of codes. So all the code which we are going to, write in the Databricks is going to be on the notebook only. So notebook is like place where you can, let's say if I want to import some libraries, then I want to query some data, okay, and then I want to fetch organize the result, okay, then I want to create the graph. So these are like steps you can understand by sales are like acting as a steps, and notebook is like you can have different kind of data set. You would like to run different kind of you know queries on that. So these are like query files. You can largely you can assume as a query files. Okay, so notebook is the only place where you are going to work and schedule your job around. So this is like core thing for the Databricks. Is that making sense?
so
Okay.
so okay, I can fetch the data
Mm-hmm.
and I can see what I understand, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Informatica is a ETL tool, right? I'm a
Mm-hmm.
background of Informatica. So
Okay.
Informatica is extracting the data and do the transformation and loads the data into somewhere. It's
Okay.
just like a GUI
Right.
concept, right?
Right. Right.
So data breaks, like we
Mm-hmm.
have a notebook
Mm-hmm.
and we have a different kind of like fetching the data, doing the
Right.
transformation
Right.
and do the scheduling in one
Yes.
place. Is
Mm-hmm.
that right?
Yes. Correct.
So, so in one notebook, we can do all these steps.
Yes. All these steps you can do. Even you can visualize the data. So let me just show you something. Yeah, let me just open one thing. I think, yeah, Databricks notebook. I'll just, yeah. So here, see what we can do here. Introduction to Databricks notebooks. So let me go here. Notebook are a common tool in data science and ML for developing code and presenting the result. So we are developing the code here and presenting the results as well. In Azure Databricks, notebook are the primary tool for creating data science and ML workflows and collaborating with the colleagues. So basically like comments, all those things, with the colleagues we are performing on the notebook itself. Databricks notebooks provide real-time, co-authoring in multiple languages, automatic versioning, and built-in data visualization. So we have built-in data visualization as well in the notebooks. Okay. With Azure Databricks notebook, what you can do? Basically, you can develop the code using Python, SQL, Scala, and R. Customize your environment with the libraries. So you can fetch in different libraries in notebook. You can create regularly scheduled jobs. So basically, like we have seen that we can schedule a notebook itself. So let's say if I have to fetch the data in the evening and create some output of it, I can do using the notebook, right? So every evening this job will be performed. It will fetch the data. It will manipulate whatever transformation we are looking for, and it will do so. And we can have multiple notebooks for each type of job. Okay. Browse and access tables and volumes. So we can browse and access tables and volume, export result and notebooks in HTML and IPY, NB format. Use a Git-based repository to store your notebooks in. So we can also, store our notebook in GitHub or, Git-based repository. So it's like, we are developing the notebook, refining it, we are placing it somewhere, we are maintaining the version control, all those things we can do. Build and share the dashboard so we can use the net notebook. So let's say we have 5 to 10 notebooks which are bringing this different aspect of different data, maybe from social media, from databases, different data warehouses. So we are combining this into a dashboard, and that dashboard can show you the visualizations. Okay, so that also we can do. Open or run a Delta Live tables pipeline, so we can have sort of pipelines created with the Delta Live where we can do like use advanced editing capabilities. Also, we can do exploratory data analysis. So these are some of the aspect of Databricks notebook. So Databricks notebook is basically the place where developer is going to work heavily. Okay, so this is like single place. We will be writing the code. We will be fetching transforming all the information and running our code. So and it will support, it supports multiple languages. We can bring in the libraries and all those things. So this is like use of notebook. Okay. Let's see in notebook here. So basically what we need with the notebook is, so here you can see our, cluster is terminated because we passed the 10 minute and we didn't use it. So it automatically stopped. So this is a good feature in the compute where you can, stop your, and it will not cost you continuously. Okay, and now next thing, so I explained about the compute also, and compute, we can create the compute. What are the limitations? I showed you on the Azure as well, that how we can, have a compute, and compute can have some limitation, how we can extend it. So from here, we can start our cluster manually, or we can start a cluster from the notebook as well. So last time we started from notebook. Maybe we can start from here as well. We can clone the same cluster if we want, one more created for different. So cluster, you can assume that, let's say we have 10 notebooks in our environment, and some of the notebook are being used by one of our colleague. We can maybe use some particular cluster for that. So the costing point of view, we can have, charges divided that for particular job, or maybe we may have multiple clients scenario. So if we are using the notebooks for different, different client, different sources, and we can create the multiple clusters, because when cluster will cost you only when it is running. If it is not running, it is not going to cost you anyways. So you can have multiple clusters, and whenever the notebook is invoked, it will be using a particular cluster for to run that notebook. And this is how you can separate the resource requirement. Okay. All right. So, and also you can edit the permission of your, cluster here. So let's see, I can manage this, cluster because I am owner. Someone maybe, can restart, or, these are like permission you can attach. So these are like permission we can grant to the clusters from here. Okay. And cluster, I showed you like how to create the cluster, what are the parameters, what are the, type of cluster we can create. So we can choose the cluster. There are different, shared one is like common cluster, which can be used among multiple users. And there is power user compute also. So it's like configurations, different configuration for your cluster. Okay, next thing, so we understood about notebook. Notebook largely we have covered, but notebook, if our notebook is in our, home, then it is not shared with other users. So when other user log in to their account, they will not be able to view my notebook. Okay. To make it visible to other users, I should have this notebook in the shared one. This shared folder is like common playground for everyone, and you can have, let's say, this shared location, so it will be visible to whoever log into this workspace. So I can even create a folder in it to manage this. So let's say folder or client folder. For example, if we have multiple client, maybe we would like to arrange the notebook for client wise. So let's say client One notebooks we are going to keep here. So it's like folder, normal way we can assume as a folder. So yeah, client one notebooks. Same way we can have another folder for client two. Okay, so this is how we can organize our notebooks. So in shared one, it will be visible to everyone whoever using our Databricks account. Okay. And user one are like personal. So you can basically the idea is that you can create your own notebook, and when notebook is acceptable, shareable, then you can maybe drag and drop it to, let's say, okay, I develop this for this one. I can drag and drop it. Now it is visible to my colleagues. So my notebook is visible to my colleagues. Same way I can create multiple notebooks for different purposes. Let's say I'm creating a marketing dashboard and I have several notebooks created and one dashboard created, something like this. So I can put them or organize them in a folder. Okay. So this is how we can, have multiple notebooks. We can even create a notebook directly. So let's say this is a notebook one, and let's say another notebook. So by default, it will give you an untitled. So you can have like notebook two, for example, or and you can set the default language for your notebook. So whenever your cell is created, that is going to pick the default language from here. Okay. So let's see what happened. So if I go to my workspace again, shared client one. So you can see I have two notebooks. Okay. So different notebook for different purpose, and default language for notebook I can change from the top. So it's going to pick whatever language I choose. So we have Python, so it is picking it the Python one, but we can change it to whatever language. All right, so this is all about notebook workspace. I'll take if you have any question related to it, and then we will next session we'll run some commands, see how we can perform the activities on the notebook, and it will be more meaningful because today we are able to have this conceptual but it was practical, so you understood the layout and all those things. I hope you guys already maybe you using community edition or your own trial one, so you can explore this area, notebook and compute maybe you can create one and check how it works. And if I mean you are not certain or sure, you can delete it and recreate it again also. So you can practice on this. You can run your compute. You can see in your notebook that how it shows. So let's say you can create some scenario here like clients or folders, and then you can maybe go to your notebook and see how the things are arranged. So once you are familiar with the interface, it will be easy. So here you will be able to see like your cluster, which cluster is being used with this notebook, and if it is active or terminated, and all those, how schedule, how sharing, all those things are working. So I hope notebook area is almost clear, and some more things are here. So we will discuss that how it shows the table of content on all those things. So we can discuss it in next session. We'll understand it more. But largely, this is how the notebook, and notebook is like core thing, because anything you are performing on Databricks, you will be going through the notebook only. There is no other way that other than notebook you can, deal with the, data. So mostly you will be spending your time if you are Databricks engineer and working with the Databricks. Notebook is like core concept and core thing. And largely these are like interface related, whatever options available we have explored, and this is how you will be working in your day-to-day life. All right, so that's it for today. If any question, anything you would like to ask, or if you are facing creating your your account, any problem if you're facing, or if you haven't start, maybe you would like to see it again or something, you can tell me. So, how many of you have already created the account? I mean, Azure at least. I believe Azure is easy to sign up. So should have, signed up for Azure. If not, please do it so you can at least, have understanding of Azure as well, and at least basic conceptual, ideas, because interview point of view, you will have to prepare. Even you are not managing the Azure, but when you say I'm working with this technology, I'm familiar with that, then at least, on high level, you should have understanding of these things like resource group. Important here to understand how the resource group will be, managing the resources related to your Databricks. So what are the resources will be used, like managed identity, storage account, and all those things, virtual network. So these are like some of the resources you will have to at least have, fundamental understanding of these, and then the workspace and all those things. So I hope you have created this, and if not, what you can do, if you are not sure about the costing part and this thing, you can create and delete it as well. So uh, I have deleted it multiple times. So finally, I created one, and I will keep it available. Thanks for joining, and we'll conclude this session. Bye bye.